that scene with Goliath, damn. That music was on point in that scene. Like, I felt the desperation in that moment in this episode of Dungeon Girl. So anyways, today I am here to bring you an anime review on Dungeon Girl or Danmachi, whatever name you prefer to call this series. I'm here to bring you an anime review. And so, now that that's out of the way, Goliath. I really hope our MC actually challenges Goliath. I really hope Belle goes up against Goliath and tries to fight him, because after witnessing what I saw in this episode, I actually have a lot more respect for this series for certain reasons. For one thing, it didn't have it to where Belle fought Goliath. Like, I instantly fought when I was watching this episode, when I saw Goliath pop up and you saw Belle running, and he's just running, he's like, run, that desperation, run. I thought he was going to try to fight Goliath. I really did. And I bet about 95% of us that were watching this episode thought Belle was going to fight Goliath. Come to find out, he ran. And I respect this series for doing something like that, because usually when it comes to a series like this, you would have a character that overcomes impossible odds, especially like, you know, Goliath or something like a boss, and have it fight up against a boss and then win. I'm glad it was a little bit more realistic, where Belle was like, fuck this shit, I am running. And I mean, he did a damn good choice of running, because if he did not run, he would have been fucked. Like, did you see the size of Goliath and, you know, the devastation he was causing? Like, Belle, he would have gotten wrecked. But, I mean, still, I'm really satisfied with this episode for just showcasing that he did not stand up against Goliath, because he's not ready for that. And it would have felt way too soon for his character to stand up against something like that. So, I have a little bit more respect for this series after seeing something like that in this episode. Now, thing is, okay, I still do want to see the fight. I still do want to see the fight with Belle versus Goliath, but I want to see it in a fashion to where it's a little bit more fair, to where Belle has his party and they go up against. I want to see something like that, but at the moment, I don't know if Belle is honestly strong enough to go up against Goliath. Big question I have right now, actually, is how did Hestia and them get past Goliath? That's actually a question I am wondering right now, because did they go down a different pathway than what Belle and them did? Like, did Belle accidentally go down a hole to where he dropped right in front of the door of Goliath? Or did Hestia and them come down a different way to where they can bypass Goliath? I mean, there's a lot of questions I have right now, because if they did have to go through that different, you know, corridor, did that mean that Hestia and them had to run past Goliath? If they did, who the like, okay, so you're telling me all these characters just ran past Goliath, or did one of them hold him back? I have a lot of questions. I have so many questions right now about that, but that's for another time. That is for another time in another video. So, this episode of Dungeon Girl, besides, you know, the first half being very intense, like, my god, that music gets your heart just pumping, because, I mean, when you just see that desperation of just run, damn, that was so good. That was just so good. Best scene of the episode. Yeah, best scene of the episode. So, talking about the other parts of the episode, you have it to where it's mainly recovery. Like, the second half of the episode is kind of recovery. Like, our characters recovering after the events of what they experienced on the 17th floor, and also setting up for some drama, love triangle, and romance and stuff like that with Belle's ever-growing harem. Like, oh my god. Belle's harem is fucking massive. Like, he got 2 new girls in this, and I'm like, Belle, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, shit, dude. Like, my god, dude, this dude's got more girls coming after him than Kirito. And I'm like, it's just like, shit, man. So, yeah, this episode, of Dungeon Girl, second half. I don't really need to dive into it. It's pretty much drama. Come to find out that there's towns inside of dungeons. So, that's cool. There's probably going to be specific dungeons later on that might offer quests against bosses and stuff. If I had to be a betting man, if I was a betting man, I'm going to assume that there's going to be certain towns that give you special equipment, of course, but also give you special privileges compared to other towns and stuff you get the further you go down. I'm going to assume that there probably is more towns as you go down. So that's about it. That's my thoughts of Dungeon Girl this week. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.